Hey guys, this is Lee from etchobby.com. I just wanted to do a quick tutorial about making avatar images, or maybe avatar buttons, or making a button itself for your website to give it a nice little 3D glass effect. Just want to pull up this one right here from our website. This is one I made. We got one for founder, writer, moderator, things like that. It's a nice little avatar image. Can be used as a button or however you see fit. So if you're ready, I'm ready. We're going to dive right into it. We're going to pull up Photoshop. I already have it loaded. What you're going to do is you're going to go to File. We're going to open up a new Photoshop document. Since it's going to be a small one, I would say keeping the width and height relatively small would be your best bet to keep your image size smaller. You know, some websites have a limit on their kilobytes as far as avatar images, so we really want to keep it small. But you may say, Lee, why? Why are we doing it small? We can't edit in that. I'm going to show you how. It's very simple. You can just zoom right in. It'll look a little bit pixelated, but we can work with that. So we're going to create this, name it whatever you want. I'm going to name this whatever, and we're going to click OK. 90 by 80, everything looks right. Pulling this up right here, and like I said earlier, we've got a small window to work with. I've already got it as a transparent background. We're going to save it as a ping image. So what we can do to fix that is we're going to go to our zoom tool, and we're actually going to fit it to screen to actually make it bigger so we can work with it and see what we're working with here. What we need to do first is you need to get a color scheme in mind. What color you're working with. I know we're not going to do black and white. So what we can do is we're going to go down here. We're going to select the foreground color. We're just going to pick a color. I'm going to go with green. A green color right here. We can let this darker green be our foreground color. We're going to go down here to the background color, and we're going to do maybe a lighter shade green on that. So to get started, we've got all this groundwork laid. We're going to go right here to rounded rectangle tool, and if you right click it, you got a bunch of different options right there if you don't see rounded rectangle tool. So we're going to select it, and we're going to go up to the corner, not to the edge. I don't suggest going to the edge. We're just going to go about corner to corner right here. Looks about right. So we're going to get this going right here. We've got our green rounded rectangle here. So what you need to do now, if you're on Windows, you need to hold Control right here, and you're going to actually click on the image right here. What that's going to do is that's going to select it. Now what we can do is we can go to our gradient tool right here, and if the paint bucket is up, it's usually paint bucket tool. We can right click and select gradient. We're going to come up here to our gradient options, our gradient picker rather, and we're going to select this right here, foreground to background color. Now if you hadn't selected this and done the control click right over here, when you drag your gradient down, it's going to color the entire screen, and that's not what we want. What we want is to actually color what is selected, and we want to leave the rest of it transparent. So we're going to hold down Shift right here to apply the gradient. We're going to hold down Shift, going to click so we can draw a straight line all the way through it. Then we're going to let go. And it's going to give it just a nice, dark color to lighter green color right here. That looks pretty good to me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new layer. I'm going to come down here, create a new layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch it back to the black and white deal, the default foreground and background colors, and we're going to flip-flop them. We're going to put white as our foreground and black as our background. So what you need to do is go up here to select. We're going to go down to modify, and you're going to contract. What you're doing is you're contracting the selected area to the certain amount of pixels that you want it to be contracted to. We're going to pull this down 3 pixels. I already have that in there. I'm going to click OK, and what that does is pulls the border in away from the outside edges. So the outside edges really aren't applied to the transformation that we're going to do next. So we're going to go up here to our gradient picker, and we're going to do a white to a transparent. We're going to do our foreground to to a transparent background right here. So we're going to select that, and we're going to do the same thing with our gradient tool. We're going to hold down shift. Now here's a problem you might face. If you go all the way down with this, it's going to look jankety and ugly and stupid, and I'm going to laugh at you if you do it, because that doesn't look good at all, and I don't know what you're going for. So we're going to back that up, and we're going to go about 1/4 of the way down. Right there. Now, that gives you that nice little glass look, and some people like the gradient look to that. I'm a fan of having a hard edge to it, and give it a more like a 3D look, like a shimmer effect. So we're going to go down to about right here, and we're going to delete that off. And now if we go to the magnifying tool, and you can check this at any time, check your progress and see how it looks. We're going to go to actual pixels. We're going to hit Control D to deselect that, and that gives it a nice look right there, a glassy look on the top, and then a gradient down to a lighter color right there. One more thing that I'm going to show you to do this, we're going to go back to fit screen, make it a little bit bigger. We're going to add a little bit of text to it, and you know, the text is completely up to you. It's completely, you know, modifiable, and it's the limitations are endless. I mean, you don't like, well, rather there's no limitations. I don't know what I just said, but there's no limitations to what you can do to this. You know, there's all different kind of things, and I'm going to show you the way that I went. We're going to right click here, and we're going to pull up something called blending options. When we pull up blending options, we got all these nice little things that we can add to it, but I want to do a drop shadow here. And what a drop shadow is basically just adding a little bit more texture to, instead of it just being a plain white looking text, we're going to add a little bit of oomph to it and a little bit of background. So we're going to set it to 90. I like it at 90, and I like about a 90 opacity. You know, you can mess with it, take opacity completely out, do it full. We're going to do about 90 here. You can do your distance as well. You know, that looks stupid. I don't know why anybody in their right mind would do that, but you know, set it to about 4 or so, or however you like it. You can change the percentage of the spread. I like a little bit darker, but not too dark. Go about 18. That's a nice weird little number. And then do your size. You know, you can change your sizes of it. Do about a 4 pixel right there. And then if you want to change different contours, I don't know why anyone in their right mind would do it, you know, but hey, to each their own, and variety, I heard, is apparently the spice of life. So we're just going to do the basic contour that it's got right there. We're going to click OK, and we're going to view our finished product here. We're going to go to actual pixels. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. We've got a nice looking button, avatar image, whatever you want to use it as right here. You can completely modify it. You can emboss the edges if you want to, give it a countersunk look. You know, anything you want to do. And like I said, it's limitless, and you can just let your imagination flow. But I hope this tutorial helped you out, gave you a little insight, and maybe sparked your interest in getting involved in Photoshop more. But like I said in the beginning, my name is Lee Hicks. You can find me on etchobby.com. I'm usually messing around in the Photoshop, After Effects section. You can PM me, you can message me, whatever. Just get in touch with me if you have any questions about this tutorial, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks.